Hello everyone and welcome. Question which had been asked in JEE Advanced 2024 paper 1 of probability and or Bayes theorem. A student appears for a quiz consisting of only true-false questions and he answers all the questions. The student knows the answer of some questions and guesses the answer for the remaining ones. Whenever the student knows the answer of a question, he gives the correct answer. Okay, so the student is answering true-false questions and he answers all the questions. So if we define sets, so if he knows the answer, it's fine. If he doesn't know the answer, then he is not going to leave the question unanswered. He is going to guess the answer for that particular question and then he will answer it. But he is not going to leave any question unanswered. So all the questions are attempted, all the questions are answered. So if we define some sets, set C, this is set of all questions. Let Q be the set of all the questions. C be a subset of Q, all questions for which student gives correct answer. IC equals to set or I only. I equals to set of all questions for which student gives incorrect answer. G be the set of all questions for which the student guesses an answer. And K equals to the set of all questions for which the student knows the answer. Okay, now we will read the question again. Whenever the student knows the answer of a question, he gives the correct answer. पता है तो आंसर ठीक देगा. इसका क्या मतलब है? देखो, सबसे पहले यहाँ तो आंसर करेक्ट है, यहाँ फिर आंसर इनकरेक्ट, अनआंसर्ड कुछ भी नहीं है. तो दिया, क्योंकि सब सवालों का जवाब दिया है, he has answered all the questions, so either he is giving a correct answer or he is giving an incorrect answer. No question is left unanswered. So that means if we consider the set of all the questions, this is the set Q, then it is the union of C and I. It's not IC, it's I. C union I. Either correct or incorrect. And at the same time, he cannot give both correct and incorrect answer for a question. Either the answer is correct or the answer is incorrect. So these are mutually exclusive sets. They're not going to overlap. Nothing is going to be in the intersection, because if something is in the intersection of a question is going to be in the intersection, then that would mean that he has given both correct and incorrect answer, which is practically not possible. So using the Venn diagram, this is C, this is IC, this is I, and these are mutually exclusive. Nothing is there in the intersection. And the question says that if he knows then the answer is correct. So if he knows the question, the answer, he gives the correct answer. So if a question Q lies in the set K, then this means that the Q lies in the set C. Set C is the set of all questions for which the student gives the correct answer. So if and the K is the set of all the questions for which the student knows the answer. So if he knows the answer, he gives the correct answer. So if the question Q lies in the set K, then the question Q is also lying in the set C. So this just means that K is contained in C. So K is lying all here in C. This is K and this lies here only. It has nothing to do with the set I. So if we consider the conditional probability C by K, then can we find it? The formula says that it is C intersection K upon probability of K. So this is probability of K only, because C intersection K is nothing but K itself, because K is contained entirely in C. This is P by Pk, and this cancels out to give 1. So we have found that the probability of correct answer given he knows the answer is 1. Now the question further says that assume that the probability of the student giving the correct answer, probability that a student gives the correct answer, given that he guessed it, is 1 by 2. And also assume that the probability of the answer for a question being guessed. So this time, probability of guessing answer for a question, given that the student's answer is correct, is 1 by 6. So what do we have to find? Then the probability that a student knows the answer of a randomly chosen question is, we have to find the probability of K, Pk. Okay. G by C is 1 by 6. Probability of C by G is 1 by 2. Probability of G by C is 1 by 6. Probability of C upon K is 1. And find probability of K. So for a given question, either the student knows the answer or he guesses it. There is no third option. He knows the answer or he is going to give a guess. But he's not going to leave the question unanswered. So if we randomly choose a question in the set Q, this implies Q either lies in K or Q either lies in G. The sets that we defined earlier, Q is either in K or in G, but it cannot be in both. If you are knowing the answer, then you are not going to guess the answer for that question. Fine. So this means K intersection G is completely empty, is an empty set. Also, K union G is Q. Why? Because either he knows the answer or he guesses the answer. There is no other option for the student. He knows the answer or he guesses the answer. So this means the probability of Q, which is actually 1, so probability of K plus probability of G. Because this is the entire set Q, and this is going to be nothing but number of Q upon Q equals to 1. So this is this. This implies probability of K plus probability of G is going to be 1. And if this is just K, then probability of G equals to 1 minus K. 1 minus K. We know this. We know this. We know this. And we know this. Now, can we find probability of knowing the answer if we choose any question randomly? Now, since we are given both the probability of guessing given correct answer and probability of correct answer given guessing, that means if we attempt to write this formula G by C, then this is nothing but probability of G intersection C upon probability of C equals to. Now, do we have this probability of giving the correct answer? So if the student is giving correct answer for a question, that means either he is actually knowing the answer, or he is blindly guessing it. He is not knowing the answer. He is just giving a guess to it. So that means if a question lies in the set C, this implies it either lies in K or Q lies in G. This implies C is nothing but C intersection K union C intersection G. And because K and G are mutually exclusive sets, so this is going to be, the intersection is empty. So intersection of C with K union intersection of C with, sorry. So, okay, C intersection K intersection is also going to be empty because lying in the intersection means lying here and this is empty. So either he knows the answer or he doesn't know the answer, so he guesses it. So because of this, we are getting this equality. And now applying the probability, and the intersection is empty, so the intersection probability is just going to be 0. Using that formula, we can use here that A union B is nothing but probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Using this, we get probability of C. Now, we have nothing to do with the intersection. We have been given the conditional probability. So, obtaining the intersection from the conditional probability is just using this. This implies because this is nothing but K. This is 1. And this is 1 minus K, probability of guessing. And this is half. Probability of knowing the correct answer to the question is half plus K by 2. Now, since we are given both G by C and C by G, so applying, we can find the answer using the Bayes theorem. So if we attempt to, and you can use any of them in the left hand side. That means if we use probability of G by C, then it is nothing but probability of G intersection C upon probability of correct. This implies, and we have nothing to do with intersection. We have the conditional probability, so we can substitute that formula directly. We'll be getting C by G into probability of guessing, and this is probability of correct. This is 1 by 6. C probability of C by G is half, and this is 1 minus K. This we calculated 1 plus K by 2. So we can cancel this out. This implies 1 by 6 equals to 1 minus K upon 1 plus K. This gives 1 plus K equals to 6 minus 6K. And the answer is 7K equals to 5, which implies K equals to 5 by 7. So this C part is the correct answer. I hope you understood the solution. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section as well. Thank you so much and happy learning. Thank you so much for watching this video.